Hello, hello, everybody. Come on in, take a seat. We are going to get started. I know you guys are connecting to audio. Hello, hello. I love it. So fun. Okay, so hi, I am Connie, and I wanted to just take a minute and introduce myself. And share an experience that I had with Shelly and Angie at their retreat at Mount Shasta. It was the most magical experience that I have ever had. And I am a powerful businesswoman, and they took where I was at and I went through the roof, and my experience with them was off the charts. So the fact that you guys are here and getting to experience Shelly and Angie together, they create freaking magic. And I'm so excited for you guys. Angie, for those of you that don't know, she is a Reiki master, a yoga instructor, a transcendental meditation certified. She is the owner of Earth and Herbs Yoga and Healing Arts Studio. She is a mom, and she is an oracle. Angie, you're muted. Let me unmute you.
Hi. Well, I think, thank you for that beautiful introduction. And I just want to edify Connie also, because having Connie at the retreat raised our vibrational frequency, which is what we're talking about. I mean, Connie's a Reiki practitioner, soul success unleashed practitioner, Akashic reader, a mom, an oracle, and an intuitive healing coach, and a dear friend. So thank you, Connie, for helping us today.
Yes, I'm so excited. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about Shelly as well. Shelly is a practitioner of two angelic healing modalities. She is a ceremonial leader, an angelic earth resonance, and the total knowledge technique. She is a medical intuitive, an evolutionary astrologer, a yoga instructor, and an oracle. So she is going to share with us a little bit about, she's going to lead us in an introduction and tell you guys what you can expect. I think Shelly is frozen. She is not moving. We lost Shelly.
Back.
Yay!
Back. Hi, thank you. Thank you for the introduction. I had a momentary lapse of internet access, but I think we're good now. So I just want to say thank you so much, everyone, for being here. It's such an honor to share this space with you. And I would like to start by opening the container with an invocation. And so we're going to learn a little bit later on about how invocation or acknowledgement of spirit creates the opening for the connection to take place. And so I would love to just take a moment here with everyone to close our eyes and start just feeling into bodies. And we'll just take a nice deep breath, feeling the earth beneath us, the sky above us. And so we'll open this sacred container together by calling in our higher selves, our own soul, acknowledging the presence of our angels, our guides. Everyone was led here for their own unique purpose. So thanking our guides for bringing us to this now moment, acknowledging our ancestors and the ancestors of the land on which we stand. Thanking all of the beings, seen and unseen, that have helped us in our healing path and our journey. At this time, we call upon the 4 directions of north, south, east, and west, and we call upon the 4 elements of earth, air, fire, and water to help us create a sacred space around us now. Allowing for the directions and the elements to arrive, for our spirit teams to arrive. And taking one more deep breath. May all of the information that is shared within this space be of benefit to everyone here and to all of their relations. May it be so, and so it is. So at this time, I want to just share a little bit about what we'll be doing today within this webinar. So we're going to offer you guys some tangible tools for connecting with spirit, and Angie is going to be sharing about the chakras and the energy body, and we'll also be sharing about the energy healing modality of Reiki and the miracles that can happen through opening up to what's beyond just the physical, tangible world. I'll also be sharing information about how to align yourself to be an open channel or a clear channel for connecting with spirit. And then we'll talk about the different types of spirit guides that there are and how angels and guides communicate with us in our lives. And I wouldn't be too surprised if many of you have already had experiences with angels and with spirit guides, either if those are conscious experiences or experiences that you haven't known exactly what was happening. So really looking forward to sharing this information with you, and we'll also be sharing some embodied practices. So we'll be spending some time just receiving an actual angelic transmission and chakra meditation. So thank you again so much for being here. And with that, I will pass the mic over to Angie, and I'll start sharing my screen.
Okay, thank you. I had to unmute. We'll call that technical difficulties for me. Hello, my name's Angie again, and thank you all for being here. Isn't this so fun already? Thank you for allowing me to just share my passion and what I experience as a gift. Being an empath is something that I consider a gift, and I hope that someday all of us can feel that way, because I can feel what other people are feeling. And again, that is a gift. So today we're going to talk a little bit about what the chakras are and go through a meditation together. And so we'll talk about the 7 chakra systems. They stem from a Vedic tradition in India. They're considered the wheels of light. And the chakras are located, we're going to talk about the 7 major chakras today, or work with the 7 major chakras. And they're correlated with the frequencies, but also with different energy points on the body. So we're going to open up with a chakra meditation. So if you are not familiar with, if you know the word but don't really understand what it means, it's my gift more to be able to explain to you what the benefits are. So think of the chakras as energy systems in the body, how the soul exists in the body. And when we are open energetically, we have full power to manifest or connect with heavenly realms or have authority over our own field. And we're not tormented by energies that we don't want incoming and outgoing. And so in this chakra meditation, it's easier for me to go through the meditation. And as we listen in on the energy in that area, listen for any resistance. Does it feel alive to you? Or, what are you experiencing as you put your hands on your own body? And just listen in on the subtle energy fields. Because when we listen in on our own subtle energy fields, we can then begin to experience and interpret the subtle energy fields around us. And then again, we have, more authority over our own field and what comes in. So let us begin, shall we? I'm just going to start us off by taking a nice deep breath in. We can close the eyes if we want. And I know that you can't see my hands, but the root chakra located at the base of the tailbone. So we're going to go 7 chakras up. The first 3 are how we get our needs met in this physical body. And then they say everything passes through the heart, although I feel everything passes through the throat. The upper 4 are our connections to heavenly realms. So let's start with the root chakra located at the base of the tailbone. And we're just going to close our eyes and take a nice deep breath in. Pull the shoulders back, extend the spine, and just breathe in a nice, deep, persevering breath from the root chakra, pulling in some grounding energy from the earth. Maybe holding the breath at the top and extending the exhale. And I invite you into that breath through this entire meditation. And you can place your hand near the root chakra. You can also place the back of the hand on the back of the tailbone. The root chakra is associated with our identity to our tribe, how we get our needs met in this life, survival instincts, housing. So let's just sense in now to the subtle energies in the body. Do you feel the aliveness in this area? Does it feel quiet? Does it feel alive, or does it feel perhaps chaotic? And we just sense in. So as I'm doing my own chakra meditations, I recite what I know about them. And that's also what I do for my clients as I'm hovering over the root chakra: survival instincts, perseverance, righteous anger, connection to Mother Earth, housing, tribal identity. So your identity with your tribe. So if you have an imbalance in this area, that meaning, as some of us women, like we experience UTIs, or if there's, anything in the root chakra, it correlates with the anatomy. So let's move up into the sacral, and we can just place our hand right under the belly button. The root chakra is the color red, or associated with, and sacral located under the belly button. Sacral located, associated with sacrum, color orange. And this is our creativity. Do we enjoy being who we are? How do we get our needs met in this life? Sexual desires, money. It also is associated with water. So I think of, are we flexible? Again, creativity and power. And there's the womb, digestion. Just sense in now to the aliveness, just sensing into your own energy field, experiencing what frequency your body might be emitting. And then we'll move up onto the solar plexus, right below the rib cage, the belly, the gut. Personal power, the color yellow. And again, so this is our emotional center. This is where our inner child lives. This is our personal power. But again, when we think of this, think of the gut, our gut instincts. We have brain cells in the belly, but also this is how we get our needs met in this life. So although it's an emotional center and our inner child might live there, we still require some personal power in this area to get our needs met properly in this life. The inner child must have a voice. So just sensing in now, and when we are not feeling good, or we might get bad news, or we're hurt, we think of it, we hunch up into a little ball and we protect the the inner child or the emotional center. So let's move up now into the heart chakra, color green, the heart. Now we're talking about our connection to the heavenly realms. So we want the heart to be open. Many of us carry traumas in the heart. And this is what I ask when I'm hovering on the heart with my clients is, are you open to give and receive love? This is service to your community. And just experience the heart beating beneath the hand and know that your body holds incredible intelligence. And when you ask the body, or you even recite what you might know about that chakra, you will receive information. We're now exchanging energy. Believe it or not, our own self, between our higher self and the physical body, we can get a read information we may not have otherwise had access to. And just feel your own love in between your own hand and your heart, the aliveness there or lack thereof. And let's go to the throat chakra now. Very important that the throat stays open. So when I hover over the throat chakra, the color light blue, communication. So I ask, do you speak your voice? Do you use your voice to represent your highest, most authentic self? Has your voice ever been repressed? And again, when you think of the throat, thyroid. So health issues in this area could very much have to do with whether or not we are able to express ourselves. Just sensing in now to the aliveness. Or perhaps you're picking up on some anxiousness you weren't even aware of, maybe even identifying what that is, why you were feeling off today, or why you maybe were excited about something. And we'll move into the third eye, the intuition. I ask, so this is magenta, and I always ask when I'm hovering over the third eye, how do we use our emotion and our intellect? Do we interpret the divine guidance we have access to? So the still small voice is really known to sit in the belly, but the intuition right below the crown chakra. Again, some people are analytical, some are emotional, and do we have a balance here? And it's all connected to the brain, the eyes, and we just sense in now, listening and allowing the body to give us feedback on what's really going on. And then moving up over the crown chakra, color purple or white. And this is our connection to our divinity. A lot of people, of course, we want to live here. You know, they say, you know, we want to get high. Like when we think about that, like it's very important to remain balanced. So we have to connect from the root to the crown. So heavenly realms, our connection to divinity. Are we aware that we can access consciously communication from our guides and angels? And we just sense now into the aliveness, located right at the top of the head, the crown. As you breathe in, imagine a white light connecting and opening all the energy centers in the body. And on the exhale, pulling down some heavenly realms. And so that is our balancing chakra meditation today. I'm going to see how we're doing on time. Okay, pretty good. So I have a really quick story for you. Hopefully by this time, we're starting to feel a little bit more open. I start all my workshops out by opening the body or accessing the subconscious mind, because that's where the real answers are, AKA higher self. Okay. Well, I just want to share that there's time. So I have a Reiki practice, and I just want to share with you a tidbit about the power of consciousness and what this implies for the power that we hold in this human body. So on my Reiki table, I see that we are magnificent beings that hold incredible power. And what I also see is that when my client comes to, they are usually unaware of the power that I just witnessed inside their field. And the reads become everything from galactic to what we might refer to as past lives. When I say galactic, I mean, sometimes I sense that people are not from planet Earth. Maybe they're here to help raise the consciousness of planet Earth. Maybe that's why sometimes we can't relate to humanity. Maybe we don't understand why other people are not on the same level we are. Well, we may have come here and just our light alone helps raise that consciousness, just our higher mind. So when I'm on my Reiki table, when I have someone on my Reiki table, what I want you to know is that the higher self always comes through and is so powerful. And the messages are always exactly what they need to hear. But what I have seen, like one girl in particular, I had a beautiful young lady, and I witnessed her in a past life in an orphanage, and she was in a cradle in the corner of the room. And there was many children, and I would say maybe nuns throughout the room. But here's what was most interesting: as my awareness approached this child in this tiny bassinet on the floor, what I witnessed was that she was very much aware that no one was paying attention to her. She wasn't just crying because she needed something. She was very much aware that nobody was paying attention to her. And I'm not saying anybody had malicious intent. It was just a busy orphanage with a baby crying. And what she was also aware of was that she got separated from her twin sister. And then I felt so overwhelmed with compassion, I didn't know what to do. So I then said, I think I can approach this child with my loving presence and comfort this baby. So I did. And in that moment, I realized that we can transcend time and space, that it is indeed perhaps a holographic universe we live in. What that implies for energy, we can begin to imagine how powerful we are. And now I believe that will always be a part of her experience. That will always be a part of her experience. And now coming to her as a human being with her on my Reiki table, yes, indeed, she had a twin. I didn't even know she had a twin in this life. And yes, the loss that she experienced and the anxiousness, it lined up. So here's what we can know. When you go for a card reading, energy read, we don't have to take everything literally, but what we do know is that the higher self is telling us a message, is telling us a parable, a story, and it's always to lead us to our highest level of healing. Your body's intelligent and it knows what to do. And if we ask our body and we ask our higher self, it's going to lead us to our highest level of healing. And so the idea with opening the chakras is that to get rid of the resistance, the traumas, because when we get rid of layers that are not our authentic self, we are free to live in bliss, creativity, love, happiness, manifestation. All of our needs are met. That is our birthright. Okay, I could go on, but I'm probably out of time. Thank you.
All right, I will go and take over. So I want to share with you all some tools for connecting with spirit. And what I'm going to share right now is about creating the conditions for spirit to come through. And one of the first ways, oh, there's Angie. I'm going to stop my share for just a moment. One of the most important things that we can do is sanctify space. And we sanctify space by creating sacred space. So that's what it means, is creating an energy field around us that is conducive. And there's many tools for this. We can do it with smudging, and we can, which is like burning sage or Palo Santo essential oils. These are pure elements of nature that can help us to purify the space around us. And what I would like to show you guys is one thing that we can all do, which is creating an elemental altar. Can everyone see this? So it doesn't take much, but if we bring all of the 4 elements together, we have earth, air, fire, and water. So I have these all represented here, as you can see. And all of these 4 elements are the fundamental elements of creation within us, within our own bodies: water, our blood; fire, the animating life force within us; air, our breath; and earth, our physical bodies. And then all around us, if you reduce everything to its fundamental nature, it consists of the 4 elements. And when we create an elemental altar, and when we set the intention for the 4 elements to come into balance, it creates an energy field of harmony. So it's like if each of the elements is one part of a cross, is like one section of a 4-sided cross, then the center of that cross is spirit, the 5th element. So by creating an elemental altar, you're creating essentially this quadrant of 4 where the center is spirit. And when we are connecting with our spirit guides, we can do that through our intention, and then our intention can be manifested physically through the act of creating an altar that is calling in the spirit through the balance of the 4 elements. So that's the tool of creating an elemental altar. And I'm gonna start sharing my screen once again. And the next tool for creating the conditions to connect with spirit is our posture. And so we want to be in alignment. And as you can see in this picture, this woman is embodying alignment.
You can't see your screen.
You can't see the screen?
No.
All right. Share screen. Can we see the screen now?
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So in this image, we have a woman who's embodying alignment and connecting with spirit. And in order to come into alignment, I would like for us all to do this. It's just so simple. All we do is we root down through the base of the tailbone. We feel that energetic connection between the base of our tailbone and the knees. That's a 3-pointed stable base. And then breathe into the heart space. Feel the heart lift with the inhale. Slightly tucking the chin towards the chest to lengthen the back of the neck, reaching towards the sky with the top of the head. So the energy of spirit, it connects to our physical body through the spine, through the spinal cord, the craniosacral fluid. That's the physical manifestation. So when we bring our spine into alignment, when we gently tuck our chin towards our chest and close our eyes, allow our gaze to be soft and relax our jaw. We are coming into the 7 gestures, which in Tibetan Buddhism is known as the pose of the initiate, of someone who's on the path to enlightenment. It's the first step to bring our bodies into alignment so that we can receive the messages, so that we can receive and feel energy, because that's how spirit, our guides, can start to connect with us, because they are vibrating at an extremely high frequency. And as we learned about with the chakras each vibrate at a different frequency. So if our energy, and the chakras run up the spine, so if our energy is vibrating at a lower frequency, it's going to be really hard for us to even perceive the higher realms. And a lot of times that has to do with like the root chakra, or this like imbalances that are happening at these lower frequency vibrating energy centers, which just because they're vibrating at a lower frequency doesn't mean they're less important. It's about balancing them, balancing the root chakra, balancing the sacral, balancing the solar plexus. And as these chakras start to awaken, our light body starts to awaken, and we start to be able to access higher and higher levels of frequency, the highest being the crown, which is accessed when we're in full alignment. And we can start this on a physical level simply by changing our posture, and simply by noticing the breath moving as the spine comes into alignment. So the next way to create the conditions for connecting with spirit is acknowledgement of spirit. And so this can be such a simple practice, a simple personal prayer. If you want to connect with your spirit guides, talk to them and ask them to reveal themselves to you. Acknowledge their presence with you. Thank them. Thank your ancestors for all of their experience that has brought you here. Your guardian angels, whatever resonates with you in terms of what is beyond the veil that is creating the conditions for this now moment. And it's amazing what happens once you start that practice of just kind of giving them permission to show up in your life. You'll start to really notice more and more of their presence, which leads me to the last: presence. So we are able to experience spirit in the present moment. And this is important because we spend a lot of time in our minds where we're not really feeling connected and embodied in the present moment, the eternal now. And we spend a lot of time often thinking about the past or thinking about the future. And our nervous system can get caught up in worry or concern, projection, and that's a form of dissociation from the present moment. Spirit exists only within the present moment, and in reality, only the present moment exists. And so we have a really powerful tool to bring us into the present moment, and that is the breath. Specifically, when we breathe consciously, when we breathe with intention, because the breath is something that happens whether we're thinking about it or not. But once we put our attention and our focus on the breath, that is a really, really automatic way to bring us into the present moment. It's a really powerful tool. So from here, we will learn about a breath practice that brings us into balance and alignment. So on the screen, you can see the symbol of the caduceus, which is something you've probably all seen before. It's a symbol of healing and alchemy, and what it is representing is the energetic anatomy of the human. So we have the chakra system represented, and there are these energy channels that run up the spine and weave around the chakras. One of them is called the Ida Nadi, and one of them is called the Pingala Nadi. So they represent the polarity of yin and yang energy, sun and moon, feminine and masculine. So this is like the force of attraction, the force of active energy, and then the force of receptive, restful energy. These are also associated with the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. So when we bring balance to these energetic lines, it awakens the chakra system and brings us into presence. And so pranayama is the name of breathing practices in Sanskrit in the tradition of yoga. And what it means is pumping life force energy through the body. So Nadi Shodhana is alternate nostril breathing. It's a very simple practice. So all that you do is you plug one of your nostrils. You can start with your right nostril and take a deep breath in through the left nostril. And then at the top of the inhale, you'll simply switch and plug the left nostril and breathe out through the right nostril.
Shelly, do you want to turn your camera on and show them?
Yeah, I'll stop my screen share. So Nadi Shodhana is, like I said, it's a practice to help bring us into the present moment. So you start really by finding the postural alignment, rooting down through the base of the spine and rising up through the crown. You can take a natural inhale and exhale. And then you'll take your hands into a mudra. And so you can do, there's many different ways that you can do this, but I'll teach this mudra where your middle finger and your pointer finger are pointing up. And then you'll start by using your thumb to plug the right nostril. And you'll breathe in through the left. And then at the top of the inhale, you'll switch and you'll plug the right, or you'll plug the left and breathe out through the right. And then you'll breathe in through the right. Switch hands, breathe out through the left. In through the left, out through the right. In through the right, out through the left. And so we'll just do this 3 more full rounds, breathing in through the left, out through the right, in through the right, out through the left,
In through the left, out through the right, in through the right, out through the left. And then from here, releasing your hands, and we'll just take 3 deep breaths through both nostrils. All right, so that is the practice of Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing. And so what that practice does, like I said, is it balances the yin and the yang energy in the body, and it's very regulating. So whichever one you have an excess of, it will help you come back into center and into presence. So our next part of this webinar is we're going to talk about the different types of spirit guides that may show up in your life. So there are ascended masters. The ascended masters are essentially human beings who have reached enlightenment and no longer exist on the physical plane, but exist in the spiritual plane. And they often have a strong investment in helping humans to heal and reach enlightenment as well. Star beings are beings that come from the cosmic realms, the different constellations, and ancient cultures, including Native American culture, Mayan culture, ancient Chinese culture, had an understanding of these beings, or you can even think of them just as the frequencies that emanate from the stars and have a specific energy that can assist and help us on our paths. We also sometimes have an animal spirit guide. So these are animals that we resonate with. A lot of times we embody an animal consciousness. So some people may just be very songbird-like, or some people might be very lion-like. And chances are that beyond the physical realm, they are connected with that spirit animal. There are spirits in nature that we have probably all heard about, these kind of mythical creatures, the fairies, the elves, the gnomes. These beings exist within our collective thought fields, which is creating reality. And so we can connect with these energies, and oftentimes some people will have a very constitutional connection with them. There are some people that they just look like a fairy. They just act like a fairy. Maybe there's someone who's very gnome-like. They're very grounded and very earthy. Even their body type might naturally connect, might resonate with that frequency. And then that might be an indicator that would be an energy for them to explore. So also beyond the veil, we have ancestral guides. So these are those who came before us, those who walked on the physical plane before us. And essentially they can help us if we call upon them and oftentimes even when we don't call upon them. There's also the angelic realms. And these are these very high vibrating beings that are very close to source and guide us and guard us. And then lastly, there are the elementals. So these are the guides that are very associated with one specific element: earth, air, fire, water. And these are also very connected to creation. So, how angels and guides communicate? They communicate to us through our psychic senses. We can have, as we develop this connection, we gain more psychic abilities. We might see, hear, smell, feel, taste, sense, or just know something. They also connect to us through synchronicity, through the right thing happening at the right time. Oftentimes it's through piercing the veil, which can look like seeing images in the clouds or encountering an animal, seeing repeating numbers. Many times they connect with us through liminal spaces, through the dream time, through when we move into altered states of consciousness, trance states, and electromagnetic interference as well, which can be sudden chills, goosebumps. We can just feel energy in our body, or sometimes even the electronics around us can start to glitch, and we'll start to just feel a sense of, oh, I'm being communicated with at this time. So I put automatic writing here because that's a way that you can just really tap into the guidance of your guides. You can just put a pen to a paper and think of a question in your head that you want to ask your guides, and then just start writing. And oftentimes this is a way that you can communicate really directly with your guides in a really accessible way. So here's an image of some clouds that are definitely holding some beautiful angelic frequencies, taken by Connie at the last retreat that we did in Mount Shasta. It was really beautiful, just as we all lifted our frequency together, how it was like our perception started shifting and we could see just this magic unfolding around us in the natural world. Okay, so we're going to open it up for any questions that people might have, just for a couple moments here.
Lori typed into the chat that she feels that she gets connected with her guides in spirit realm all the time. She just doesn't understand what's being told to her. Can you bring some insight to her for that? You want me to answer?
Sure. I think I could use just a moment of pause.
Sure. So what I'm feeling from that is oftentimes when we're being communicated with, we feel like we're making it up, or we feel like we may be reading into something. And generally, our intuition and like that creative part of your brain where you make things up, they coexist in the same world. And so whatever's coming to you for that message is what is being transpired. So for instance, when I see a butterfly, that can mean something to me, and somebody else can see that same butterfly and it can have a different meaning. Does that make sense? So how you interpret the messages is exactly right. It's learning to trust And I like to do, like, if there's a message and I want clarity, I say, like, can you send me a rainbow if this is yes, or can you send me a heart if this is no? And this is the message that you're trying to show me? And I ask for clarification through the signs. And then start paying attention. Watch for rainbows. Rainbows can show up not just in the sky, but it can be a picture, or it can be a song talking about rainbows. Does that make sense? Awesome. Okay. Did anybody else have any questions about what we just covered? Powerful, right? Yes. Practicing is so fun. It's the best part. And every single morning, I run some grounding tools and I connect to my spirit team and I ask them to be with me in that day, you know, because they're always with us, but we have to invite them in. Ask them to send you loud, clear signs that you can easily understand, and the confidence and courage to take action upon those signs, right? Because sometimes they send us a sign and it's like, oh, I gotta do this thing, but it's really, really scary. So you can ask them for the courage to take that step. Okay, so if we don't have any more questions, I think we are going to close this out. I know that if you felt like you got value from this, that we have an opportunity to take this even deeper. Could you imagine? And so Shelly's going to share with us about that. And I'll keep an eye on the chat if any other questions come in.
Okay, I think my screen is sharing again. Awesome. So we wanted to share with you guys about an opportunity coming up where we are going to be spending some really special days together for a retreat in Sedona. Angie and I are co-hosting this experience. Connie will be there as a special guest offering her own gifts, and we have some other special guests as well. And within this retreat, we're going to learn so much about connecting with our guides and angels, and we're going to all collectively raise our frequency through daily practice and through just daily communion with a small intimate group at a really beautiful Airbnb that we're going to create a ceremonial space. And within this retreat, we're going to be practicing transcendental meditation, which is a really, really cool modality that Angie is certified in. We're going to be going out onto the beautiful land of the ancient red rocks of Sedona, which carry so much healing energy in themselves. And we're going to do a ceremony. We're going to call in our guides and our angels, and we're going to do a cleansing. We're also going to use light language, which we didn't have time to talk about today, but that's another really powerful way to bypass the mind and connect directly with the soul and directly with the angels and our guides. You'll receive a Reiki 1 certification. We'll also be doing sound healing experiences where you can just relax and receive a bath of resonant frequencies that will help to balance and attune your chakra system. We'll be practicing Kundalini yoga with Simona Bidian, who's an amazing teacher. We'll offer a cacao ceremony, and then we'll do 3 modules about angelic healing, which we only had time to just brush the surface of today. And so this retreat is going to be taking place November 7th through 11th. And we have an early bird discount that we've been running for quite a while, and it ends on October 6th. So we really wanted to make sure to do this webinar before then, so that if you feel the call, if your soul feels like you want to experience a quantum leap or just a significant shift in your vibrational frequency that will change your life and change your timeline and manifest miracles for you. We want you to be able to come at the early bird price. And so that opportunity ends on October 6th. And right now we have filled 3 spaces within this retreat, and there's only 7 spaces for participants. We wanted to keep this container really intimate and within a sacred circle where everyone who's present is such a big part of the collective experience, and it's very intimate. So we have 4 spaces left, and we would love for you to join us. And we have a special gift that we want to present as well, which is that the first 3 people that sign up for the retreat will also receive a special offering of an oracle reading. From one person will receive one from me, one will receive one from Angie, and one will receive one from Connie. And I can say with confidence that we are all really powerful, connected oracles. So when we tune into your question and your intention, we use various tools to help bring the messages directly from spirit to support you in your highest path. And it's our pleasure to offer that that space for the first 3 people who are next to sign up for the retreat. So thank you all for that. We wanted to offer you this opportunity to take things deeper. We've been putting a lot of love and care into this retreat. It's been such a fun process. And we also wanted this offering to be standalone. So we hope that you received a lot that you can take into your own life and your own practice. And we encourage you to really prioritize your own connection, your own spiritual practice, growth. And we're here if anyone has any questions further about any of this or would like to learn more. We all have our own personal offerings and would be so happy to have further conversations with you. And so as we opened this ceremonial container, we are also going to close the ceremonial container. So let's take a moment to take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Once again, just honoring our own higher selves, our own soul, the aspect of us which is light, sound, frequency, manifesting in this physical body, asking for this light to be present within us, acknowledging the presence of our angels, of our guides, of our ancestors. Thank you so much for helping us on this path, this life. We know that you are always here for us whenever we call upon you. And with that, we humbly bow to you, we honor you, and we release you. We offer our deepest humble gratitude to the 4 directions and to the 4 elements of earth, air, fire, and water, as well as to the 5th element of spirit. Thank you so much for all of your gifts. Thank you for coming into balance so that we can experience the gift of spirit, of the present moment, of the breath. Knowing that you are always here for us whenever we call upon you, we humbly bow to you, we honor you, and we release you. The circle is open but unbroken. And again, we ask that all of the information that was received during this time manifest in a good way in everyone's life who was present here with us, and that the healing and the benefits of this experience may ripple out to all of their relations, all of their loved ones, everyone they care about. Just planting the seed of love in the hearts of every single person that was here, all of their relations, everyone that they know, and everyone that they know, so that we can be a part of the collective healing of the planet. May it be so, and so it is.
So it is.
All right, everyone, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And
You want to mention the wait list? Or you want me to talk about it?
sure.
Okay. So you guys are all going to be getting an email after this. It will include the replay. It'll also include a document where you can, if maybe this retreat in Sedona and you isn't going to work out and you want to stay up to date on events, you just put your name into this wait list. And when we have our, I don't know, I feel like you can do it better.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you want to share.
Well,
We kind of already started to crack open a door, you guys. So
so we're really excited for this retreat in Sedona, and we already have some plans, some connections happening for a next retreat in Mexico. So this next retreat will be a women's retreat. So we may even be all women here. I would need to look at the group to see, but yeah, we're planting seeds to really continue to do these events and to keep coming together and building more energy, cultivating more prana, more chi, raising to higher and higher frequencies, and just experiencing more magic together. So if Sedona isn't going to be in the cards for this time, we have lots of other opportunities and much more to come. So waitlist is there for you.
yeah, so if anybody wants to hop off, we're going to stay for about 15 minutes and answer any questions that you may have about the retreat, and maybe dive in deeper with those details. If you guys have to go, we respect your time, but we'll also hold space for about 15 minutes to open up the floor if you want to unmute yourself and ask, or if you want to type in your question into the chat. We are here.
Well, someone asked what they should bring. I mean, we might as well just answer now, although an email obviously is going to go out with more detail. But I think it's safe to say that it is an all-inclusive retreat. All meals, snacks are provided. We'll be serving vegetarian and gluten-free options. If you don't prefer a vegetarian diet, we're not strict on that. You can bring food, and we'll be visiting sacred sites. It'll be November, which is a beautiful time in Sedona, so you will want to wear light and warm clothing, enough for almost 4 days, 3 nights. What else? A journal. And we'll email you, because we'll definitely have like a white ceremony. So ceremonial items. Yeah, but we'll provide ceremony items, but anything that you feel is comforting to you, but everything will be included. And yeah, there'll be at least one night where there'll be white clothing.
And having participated in the white clothing day, I was a little bit nervous last time with the white clothing, and it ended up being one of my favorite memories of the retreat. So if anybody's nervous about wearing white, we can give some tips about that too. In the email, if you're worried, you can just reply for like white clothes tips. They make me nervous. So let's see. Does anybody have, we got a question. Do you share a room?
So the Airbnb that we have has some rooms that are shared and some rooms that are not shared. So if that's like an inquiry, or if you require your own private accommodation, that's something that we can talk about when you register for the retreat. And we could, we can to a certain extent, depending on the number of people. Obviously, people would prefer to have their own space, perhaps, but within the shared container, not everyone is going to have a private room, but there are some private rooms available. All right, loves. Is there anyone else that has any questions? Okay.
You guys can reach out anytime via email. Go to the website, earthandherbsarizona.com. Most of you probably have my phone number. It's pretty much on public blast. So I'm 100% available.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Such an honor and such a pleasure to share this space with you, truly. And yeah, we will send a link for registering for the retreat if that's something that interests you. It will be in the email that we send out after this. So thank you again. Many blessings.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.